actually come up with a game show, which I think is quite good, but I haven't worked out the numbers yet, it doesn't really matter. Let's say it's a 100 grand jackpot, 10 contestants, 7 days to get a positive COVID test. I think you'd watch it. People scrambling around licking doorknobs in hospitals, you'd watch it. We'd call it, who do you PCR? Yes. I'm actually very anti-BBC these days as well, actually. I'm suing the BBC after what they did to me at Strictly. Disgusting behaviours. Disgusting. It's a very pleasing thud, that, isn't it? Very right-wing, very right-wing. I've lost fans because I'm so right-wing, because Boris Johnson, who's my ride or die, when he was Prime Minister, for the first time, just in case, they can cut it if it doesn't happen, when he was Prime Minister, I like to be supportive of him, you know, I like to do a supportive tweet to him when he did Prime Minister's questions, this sort of thing. Don't let them get to you, babe, they're just jealous. That must have been tough, babe, proud of you. Don't rise to it, babe, I'm with Nadine, we're on your side, no matter what. People would reply to these tweets, they'd say things like this. Remind me never to book a ticket to see you. Oh dear, was a fan, bye. Seriously, you're losing fans. Time to confirm if it's a joke. Confirm if it's a joke! Exactly the sort of person you want in a comedy audience. No! I will never confirm if it's a joke. Tell you one person who didn't know if it was a joke. Nadine fucking Dorries. She retweeted it. She was the Minister for Digital. Thick as mince. Very right-wing. I worked in the heart of government for a while, actually. I worked with Sue Gray on the Partygate report. Love Sue Gray. She loves a blue WKD, you just wouldn't think it. And we were working on the report, and I shouldn't have done it, I accept that now, but I just felt like the mood in the country is people wanted to see the Partygate report, and I leaked an early version of it to Twitter. I shouldn't have done it, but I thought it was fine. There's some naughty things in there, you know. A number of WhatsApp groups were established with names such as Definitely a Meeting, Wink, and Down It Street. One minister insisted everyone get on the table and sing Pure and Simple by here, so it's absolutely fine, it doesn't matter. I won't tell you the next one, actually. I'll let Jeremy Vine tell you this one.
And then he says, before one of the gatherings, somebody who worked with the Prime Minister insisted everyone be tested, and their nickname became Twatteral Flo.
Got Jeremy Vine to say Twatteral Flo on daytime TV, so that's that ticked off the bucket list. I really like this as well. That's a nice move that he does there, isn't it? You'll notice Twatteral's been blurred there by his producer. You can't say Twatteral on daytime TV. Jeremy doesn't give a shit. After I'd leaked this report, I was looking through my Instagram DMs, and people were messaging me, and one of the messages was this. I work in Parliament for the Conservatives, and I think you need to know, your tweet this morning was read out as an actual serious leak from Sue Gray's report. You had MP staff literally running around panicking, panic dialing MPs. I can't believe she used the phrase, down it street. I get a lot of messages on Instagram. I thought it was probably bollocks. It's just someone taking the piss, isn't it? So I was like, go on then, prove you're in Parliament. They immediately sent me a picture of a bin. I was like, shit. This is real. And I've since had it verified. It is Senior Cabinet Minister, I can't say if it's Theresa May, and it was a Senior Cabinet Minister who thought this leaked report was real. The end of the report had the email account, itsallsuegravybaby@aol.com. That whole week was crackers, but the Friday got even more crackers, and I haven't talked about this publicly, actually. Late on the Friday, I got an email from the Prime Minister's secretary with a letter from the Prime Minister, which I've had to redact for legal reasons, but I'll show it to you because I like you. Just don't tell anyone. It was a very simple letter. All it just said was, confirm if it's a joke! No! Oh, friends. I'm so thrilled you're all here. I have been working on something for the last 4 years, and it's my favourite thing I've done with my entire life. And I did it entirely in secret Couldn't tell anyone about it, but now it's done and you're here and I can tell you. And it started with this badge that was sent to me by the comedian Josie Long, who's so brilliant, she's one of my favourites. And she runs, yes, she's so wonderful, I recommend her. And she runs a charity called Arts Emergency, which helps people get into the arts that might not otherwise have access. And this is a promotional badge for that charity, which reads, "Sometimes, if you want something to exist, you have to make it yourself." And I thought that was such a beautiful sentiment. And I immediately got to work on a life-size model of Zac Efron. Don't get me wrong, I love fucking pussy, but Zac Efron is Mummy's absolute favourite. But I love this sentiment. I was like, what do I want to exist that doesn't already? And I live in an area of Birmingham called King's Heath. Are the people in from King's Heath? Anyone in? Hello. If you don't know Birmingham, it's South Birmingham, and it's a nice area, and I live in a mid-terrace house, and it's got like a thin garden, and it was really overgrown, and I was like, I'd love a nice garden, and I became obsessed with gardening. I've got all the gadgetry. I've got a hot bin, which is a compost bin, which is insulated, so you get compost out much quicker. First time I emptied it, I was just so amazed at how completely unfuckable I've become. One of my neighbours is a teacher, and she said, someone at work said, "What's it like living next to Joe Lycett?" And she said, "It's like living next to an elderly woman." It's so accurate. I'm in the garden the whole time. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know I love my gardening. I'm always posting about it. And it's always sort of needlessly offensive posts, just this sort of thing. I just call them all slags, big-titted slags. This is a squash, looks like an upside-down chode with a baggy foreskin. I know what that looks like because I've met your dad. Just needlessly offensive posts. And as a result of these posts, I was asked to do an interview with Gardener's World magazine. The most gentle Middle England publication you could ever hope to find. And I did this lovely interview with them, and they said afterwards, they said, "Oh, we need a high-resolution picture of you in the garden for the magazine." And I said, "Well, I don't have one." And they said, "Can you get one?" I was like, "It's locked down, I live on my own." But I got this camera, and I set it up on a little timer, and I got this picture, which I think is quite sweet, really. It's quite, I know, bless, I know, it's lovely. And they said, "Oh, it's lovely. Who took the photo?" For a laugh, I said it was Lisa Scott-Lee from Steps. I don't know why I chose Lisa Scott-Lee. I'm sat on some steps, maybe it was subconscious, I don't know. Magazine comes out, they printed her in the magazine. She lives in Dubai. And now, whenever she posts to Instagram, this is her saying Steps got to #1 in the charts, she credited me as the photographer. But ever so busy. Ever so busy.